Hi guys, so I'm gonna make a video for you going over last night's assignment and just making sure we know what we're doing here. So we have the operations of functions. I have f of x and g of x. I want to do adding, subtracting, multiplying, and division, and then I want to determine the domain of each, okay? So I'm gonna start with A here, okay? So I have f plus g of x, so that's f of x plus g of x. So that means I'm adding this function and this function. Okay, so what do I have? I have 1 over x plus 2 plus x over x minus 1. Okay, now remember, when you're adding fractions, you have to find what is the common denominator, right? Here's 1, here's 1. You have to use, they have nothing really in common, so you have to use both of them, right? I want this to be my common denominator. Okay, so that means I have to multiply this side by x minus 1, right, over x minus 1, right? I get the denominator I need, and then I'm going to have to multiply this numerator. So that's going to be x minus 1 times 1, so that's just x minus 1. Then I have to do to this side, I have to multiply this side by x plus 2 over x plus 2, right? So I get the denominator I want, and now here I have to distribute. So that's plus x squared plus 2x. Okay? Now I have the denominator that I want. All right, so now I'm just going to simplify a little bit. So what does that give me at the numerator? I have x squared, 2x plus 1x is a 3x, and then minus 1 over x plus 2, x minus 1. Okay? You should always check if you could factor this numerator more and maybe cancel some stuff out. But in this case, you can't factor this numerator, so we're finished, okay? So this here is f plus g of x. And then remember with my domain, I have to check your denominators. So that means my domain is going to be x such that x cannot be negative 2, right? Because that would make this piece 0, right, up here. And x cannot be positive 1, because that would make this part 0. And that would be my domain. All right, so that's part A. I'm going to delete that. You could always pause it if you need to pause it. All right, let's go to B. So I have f minus g of x, so I'm going to subtract this time. 1 over x plus 2 minus x over x minus 1. Okay? Same thing, except now we just have a subtraction that you have to be sure to distribute. Okay? So again, I'm going to multiply this side by the x minus 1 over x minus 1. I'll put it. Right? So I have x minus 1 from the top here. And then this side, I'm going to multiply by x plus 2, x plus 2, right? So I have, now be careful, because now I'm distributing a negative x. So it's going to be negative x squared, negative x times 2 is negative 2x. All right, so it changes things up a little bit. All right, so what do I have here? Negative x squared, right? Negative 2x plus 1 is negative x, right? Negative 2x plus x.
Good morning, County Prep. This is a reminder for all students to make sure you check in for your daily attendance. Once again, all students need to check in for their daily attendance. It's also a reminder, please make sure we're wearing our masks and staying socially distant. The only time you should not be wearing your mask is when you're eating. Remember, do your task and wear your mask. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Okay, so if I just combine like terms here at the top, this would be my answer, okay? And it's the same domain. Okay? Next up is multiplication. Multiplication is easier with fractions, right? Because you don't have to worry about the denominator. So I'm multiplying them now. 1 over x plus 2 times x over x minus 1. So what do I have in my numerator? Just multiply across. It's very easy, right? 1 times x is x, and then my denominator is going to be, so very, very simple, and then the same domain. Cannot be 2, cannot be negative 2, cannot be positive 1. All right, so that's kind of easy. All right, so now let's do the division one. I'm sure you had the most questions about that. We're gonna go blue. So df over g. So I have f of x divided by g of x. Okay, so remember, I'm gonna have this, right? Multiplying by the reciprocal. Okay? The reciprocal of this, so I'm just flip-flopping. I have my x now on the bottom and my x minus 1 at the top. And then, now you just have multiplication. It's actually probably still easier. So I'm going to multiply across here. I'm going to just move down here. 1 times x minus 1 is x minus 1. My denominators I'm multiplying, so I have my x plus 2, right? So here we have it here. And then my domain, you have to just make sure you go back and check everything. So it's x such that x cannot equal what? Negative 2, right? 0. And you have to also make sure you checked here the original, right? 1. So here's my domain. Okay? So those are the 4 problems. If you have any questions, let me know and we will discuss it during class. Have a good day.